India has called Pakistan a rogue state, exposing Islamabad for its role in supporting terrorism.
In a hard-hitting statement, India's Deputy Permanent Representative to the UN called out Pakistan for sponsoring terrorism at the launch of the Victims of Terror Association network.
Indian envoy Yojana Patel pointed to Pakistani Defence Minister Khawaja Asif's recent admission that his country has been supporting and funding terrorism for the last 3 decades, a revelation that she said surprised no one.
The whole world has heard Pakistan's Defence Minister Khawaja Asif admitting and confessing Pakistan's history of supporting, training and funding terrorist organizations in a recent television interview. This open confession surprises no one and exposes Pakistan as a rogue state fueling global terrorism and destabilizing the region. The world can no longer turn a blind eye.
The envoy in India's right of reply rejected allegations made by Pakistan as baseless. She underscored India's long-standing struggle against cross-border terrorism, beginning a statement by recalling the terror attack in Pahalgam and demanded that perpetrators and financiers of the terror attack that killed 26 civilians must be held accountable.
As the UN Security Council in its statement has said, perpetrators, organizers, financiers and sponsors of reprehensible acts of terrorism must be held accountable and brought to justice. Acts of terrorism are criminal and unjustifiable, regardless of their motivation, wherever, whenever, and by whomever committed. We reiterate that terrorism in all its forms must be condemned unequivocally.
This as Pakistan continues to provoke India at the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. In yet another violation of the ceasefire, the Pakistani troops resorted to overnight cross-border firing in Kupwara and Baramulla districts as well as in Akhnur sector. Indian Army said it responded in a measured and effective manner to the provocation by the Pakistani troops.
Meanwhile, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar chaired a high-level meeting on the Indus Waters Treaty in the light of India's move to hold the treaty in abeyance following the terror attack in Pahalgam. He said the waters of Indus River remain a lifeline for 240 million Pakistani people, that Islamabad will take all appropriate steps to safeguard its due share of water guaranteed by the treaty.
Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister also held a telephone conversation with Qatari Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani. He apprised the Qatari Prime Minister of the decisions taken by Pakistan's National Security Committee in response to recent diplomatic measures taken by India. Al Thani stressed the value of dialogue and diplomacy in resolving disputes between states.
Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has called for a de-escalation between Pakistan and India after the two countries exchanged small arms fire in the aftermath of the deadly attack on tourists in Kashmir. Last week, Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif met with Erdogan in Ankara.
We always underline that we do not want any conflict in our region and beyond. We wish for an immediate de-escalation of the tension between Pakistan and India before evolving into worse. Our foreign ministry and other units are monitoring the situation.
Meanwhile, Turkey has rejected sending arms and ammunition to Pakistan. Turkish Defence Ministry clarified that a cargo plane from Turkey had landed in Pakistan for refueling purposes, following which the plane continued on its route. And this is after the arrival of a Turkish C-130B military transport aircraft in Pakistan triggered speculations that Ankara had made an urgent arms delivery to Pakistan.